I want you to know, beloved, that what has happened to me has actually helped to spread the gospel. So what has happened to you, Paul? So that it has become known throughout the whole imperial guard, Praetorian Guard in some translations, and to everyone else that my imprisonment is for Christ. So we know he's in jail. We don't know exactly what kind of prison. We'll get back to that in a little bit, but we know he's in prison. This happened, as I said, to Paul several times, and prisons were no picnic. My friend Craig Wansink, I think I referred to it in your prep guide. My friend Craig Wansink wrote his doctoral dissertation that became a book called Chained in Christ, that described the harsh realities of being in a Roman prison, which evoked a whole lot of pain. People pressed against one another, dark, underground, often. So very bad place to be. It is a very unlikely thing for Paul to say, you know what, this has actually been really good, right? He's not in a minimum security, we imagine, right? But he's not playing tennis. He's, all that. He's under duress. He's in a horrible situation by all likelihood. And he says, this has actually turned out better. So why was it turned out better? Has it turned out better? And most of the brothers and sisters have been made confident in the Lord by my imprisonment, dare to speak the word with greater boldness and without fear. So Paul takes prison, and as he's writing to his Philippian friends under duress, Paul says, I've got a little duress going on, but he doesn't linger there and say, oh, my days are so long and terrible, and I have so hard, in order to outdo them. Instead, he says, I am in prison, but it's turned out for the best. And he gives two reasons. One is the whole imperial guard knows about it. Now, what was an imperial guard? Well, the guards in the strategy of Roman prisons, the guards rotated geographically, so no corruption could take hold, right? So the guards in Philippi would be there for a stretch of time, or wherever Paul is. Some people think he wrote from Ephesus. Some people think he wrote from somewhere else when he wrote from prison. We don't know where he's in prison when he writes this, but wherever he is, the guards are there. But in 2 weeks, they're going to be sent off to an entirely other part of the Roman Empire. So what does Paul do? He develops a mission agency. Do you see? Paul says, well, they got to watch me. So he shares the gospel with them. And then any who take hold will go off someplace else and share the gospel in a place he can't get to. So Paul, the opportunist, says, all right, lemons, lemonade. I'm going to make a mission agency out of these guards. How remarkable is that? Right? Then the second benefit is that the people who know Paul is in prison and hear him reporting things like this are made bold themselves by his experience. They don't end up as scared because Paul's faced what they think is the worst thing you can face, and he's doing fine.